Giving all praises. Hold on. Giving all praises, all honor, all glory to Yahweh and his son, Yahweh Shai, for the reading and the understanding of his word today. Hello out there, family. This is the Shimmer with yo bro, Shi'yah. My brother, y'all got to forgive my brother, Gabar. He's just caught in traffic. He is on his way. He will be here shortly. So before we start and get things going, I want to talk to you guys today. Before we get started, I want to talk to you guys. A lot of times when we read the scriptures, when we read this Bible to understand things, we have to understand that we have to allow these scriptures to take hold on us. Y'all understand that? We have to allow the things that we read to be some type of significance for our life. We have to read and we have to understand the things that are in the Bible and put them to purpose in our lives. And we cannot forget that. We cannot forget that it is important. Every day is an opportunity to change our lives. Every day is an opportunity to change our lives. I'm going to say that again. Every day is an opportunity to change our lives, change things about us. Okay. I'm going to read real quick before we get started. I'm not going to tell you the title of the class today because I'm going to read things that should stick with us. I want you to go to the book of Romans chapter 2 and verse 13 before we get started today. Because we got to let these scriptures sink in, y'all. And we have to make sure that we're doing this in the right spirit. I don't want to do this and read these scriptures out of malice, out of me getting upset with someone or having a situation, or even getting mad with a person and doing a class about them because I don't like what they said to me or did to me. This is what we have to remember when we do this. This is chapter 2 and verse 13. It says, "For not the hearers of the law are just before Yahweh, but the doers of the law shall be justified." Right? And he's telling us that the doers of the law shall be justified. So what is that telling us? People that put into practice these things that they read are going to be justified before the Lord. Now, the thing is, everyone is not going to get this. Everyone's not going to let these words sink in to them. There are going to be some people who are going to fail. There are going to be some people who are going to come up short, okay, of the glory of the Most High God. James chapter 1, which is one of my favorite books, by the way. Love James, because James has a lot to say. James chapter 1 in verse 22, it tells us, it says, "But be ye doers of the word, not hearers only, deceiving yourselves." And we've read this many times, but we have to learn to do these words. We have to learn to put them into practice. Now, the title of today's class is called Empty Your Cup. Empty your cup. Why did I start this way? Because a lot of times we don't realize that our cups are very full. What is that talking about? What is this going into? And we're going to get some stuff that Christ said on how to empty your cup, on why people's cups are full, on the situations with cups, what cups are, right? Drinking out of what cup, choosing what cup to drink out of. The reason why people get a lack of learning, a lack of understanding, a lack of motivation, a lack of just wisdom is because once you come to the table, meaning come to the sanctuary or come to the table of learning, you already have situations going on. You already have stuff that's happening in your life that you cannot forgive, that you cannot let go. And I'm saying this because we don't realize it. We don't realize that there are things going on with us before we come to the table. And we got to be better than that. We got to realize that and do better. And so we have to realize that if your cup is already full, you're not going to be able to receive any information. You're not going to be able to get any type of understanding, any type of salvation, any type of anything if you come to the table and your cup is already full. So we're going to start and we're going to read a little bit before we just really get started. I want you to go to the book of Matthew. And my brother should be pulling up real soon here. The book of Matthew, chapter 18. So I want you to go to the book of Matthew, chapter 18. And here is Christ is telling us what to do. He's telling us how to behave, how to do what it is we need to do to get what we need out of the situation. Now watch this. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 18 and verse 2. Now I want you guys to hear this. And it reads, and Yahushua called a little child unto him and set him in the midst of them. Right? I'm gonna go back to verse 1. It says, at the same time came the disciples unto Yahushua, saying, who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? And Yahushua called a little child upon him. Come on in. And I'm fixing to show you guys something real quick. Shalom, brother. Shalom. I just got started.
All praise.
You perfect.
All
you 100% perfect. I'm gonna wait until my brother gets comfortable because I want you guys to see this. I was telling my brothers and sisters the title of this class is Empty Your Cup. Okay. Empty your cup. Mm-hmm. A lot of times they don't understand how they can't receive information, how they can't receive good guidance, how they can't even receive. A lot of our people can't receive good counseling because they refuse to empty their cup. And the bad thing about it is they don't even realize that they haven't emptied the cup. A lot of people don't realize that the cup is not empty. So they can't get the understanding that they really need, right? So I want you to go to the book of Matthew, chapter 18 and verse 1. We're going to read it from verse 1 to verse 5.
The book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 1. At the same time came the disciples unto Jesus, saying, who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven?
So they were saying who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. These men were doing great work, but they wanted to see who the greatest was in the kingdom. Read on.
And Jesus called a little child unto him and set him in the midst of them.
He said a little child in the midst of all these men who asked the question, who's the greatest? Read.
And said, verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven.
Did you hear what he said? He said, except you be converted. He said, except you be converted, meaning change, and become as little children. So he's not saying be a child, like be ignorant. He's telling you you have to be a child in receiving information. The information that you receive, you cannot receive it with malice. You cannot receive it with strife. You cannot receive it thinking you know more than the person who's trying to teach you. You have to have humility when you receive it. That's how you receive good information. If I give you something, you chew on it. You just chew on what I said. Even if you don't agree with me, just chew on what I asked you to, and you may come out better. But watch this. Read the next verse.
I always say, just take it in and like he said, chew on it. I always say, just digest it or process it before you form your argument. Take it in first.
Yeah, don't listen to argue. Don't listen to respond. Listen to understand.
There you go.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's something we have to train our minds to do. We have to train ourselves to listen to understand.
Big
right?
man.
And I had to train myself for that too.
It's a training we all have to do.
I'm guilty of that. I've been very guilty of that. Read verse 3.
Verse 3 from the top. And said, verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven.
Read.
Whosoever therefore shall humble himself.
Shall what?
Shall humble himself.
Shall what?
Shall humble himself.
Read.
As this little child, the same is great in the kingdom of heaven.
So you don't even get that understanding until you first humble yourself. You have to have humility about yourself. I think he pulled that scripture last week in Proverbs that says that before honor is humility. So humility comes before honor, right? Watch this. Read the next verse.
Verse 5. And whosoever shall receive one such little child in my name receiveth me.
You see that? So whoever received that child in my name, meaning if you take on the mind of Christ, if you follow his steps, you're going to receive it just like he's going to receive it. You're going to get the correct message. You're going to get the correct understanding. But you first got to be humble. You don't get the understanding without being humble. A lot of our cups are very full coming to the table. And I think we came out, this class is because I don't think they realize it. You know, I've had conversations between brothers and sisters during the week, and we have situations, but I don't even think that they realize where they're falling at. Mm-hmm. I don't think they realize that when they talk to their spouse or their close friend, or that the cup is already full. You have to empty out that cup. Mm-hmm. And you say, well, what do you mean by empty out your cup? We're going to go into detail today and help you understand what we mean when we say cup and what we mean when we say empty it out. We're going to try to break it down for you, right? I want you to go to 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 20. We're going to try to break this down for you today. Because it's really not a stupid question that you ask. You're like, what you mean?
Not at all.
What are you talking about? We're going to give it to you. Read that when you get it.
1 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 20.
14, verse 20. I apologize.
1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 20.
Read.
Brethren, be not children in understanding.
Be not children in what?
Be not children in understanding.
Read.
Howbeit in malice be ye children, but in understanding be men.
Y'all see that? He said, be not children in understanding something. Don't be a child when it comes to somebody telling you something that you need to hear. And then you get funny and you get weird and you get prideful, right? That's becoming a child, right? But he said, but in understanding, right? Be men. Mm-hmm. So we have to be men in understanding. Sometimes you're going to be rebuked, and sometimes it's not going to feel very good. But guess what? It's going to be for your good, right? If you can just humble down and receive the information as it's given to you, it will help you. And y'all got to understand that. It will help. A lot of times it's this thing of embarrassment, right? Nobody wants to feel embarrassed. Nobody wants to feel that feeling anymore. And if we feel that, we take that as, and I said this before, we take it as disrespect. Uh-huh. We take feeling embarrassed as disrespect. Yeah. And I think it's a confusion of your feelings. I don't think that you're wrong. I just think that you're confused whenever you feel that way, because it's a misunderstanding. Oh, you disrespected me, dog. Right. You just feel bad because I corrected you.
And in a lot of ways, that's our pride, right?
Yes.
Because that's the I know everything spirit. I know that already. I got it.
Right.
Right. And then when someone rebukes you or corrects you or shows you the truth or the right way of it, then, like he said, you're embarrassed, but you feel, but your mind is translating it as disrespect. It's not disrespect. You feel embarrassed because, I didn't know that. And you didn't have the humility to say, well, you know what, brother, I don't know. Go ahead and tell me.
Go to Hebrews chapter 12, because you went there. We have to give them understanding, because we know that sometimes being embarrassed is going to feel like some type of way, right? Mm-hmm. So go to chapter 12, and I want you to read at verse 6 of you could start at verse 5, but you can do 5 or 6 of Hebrews.
Okay, I'm gonna start at verse 5. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 5. And ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children.
As unto what?
As unto children.
You're going to be spoken to the same as unto children, right? And sometimes children don't like being corrected. Read.
My son, despise not thou the chastening of the Lord.
Wait a minute. Despise not what?
Despise not thou the chastening of the Lord.
Sometimes the chastening of the Lord could be you breaking a commandment and somebody telling you that you're breaking that commandment. That is called the chastening of the Lord.
You would rather that be your chastening than for the Most High to actually be putting that the actual chastening that we deserve. You would rather someone tell you than for him to give you the real chastening on you.
Exactly.
My son, despise not thou the chastening of the Lord.
Read.
Nor faint when thou art rebuked of him.
So don't faint when you get corrected. Read.
Verse 6. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth.
The Bible says he scourges. Now we have to understand what a scourging is. A scourging is a harsh ass whipping. That's what it is. They scourged Christ with the cat of 9 tails when they had punished him. A scourging is a harsh ass whipping. That's what a scourging is. So whenever you go through a scourging, yes, it does not feel good. It is very embarrassing sometimes, but guess what? It's for your good. Think about it like taking castor oil. Now, most people hate the taste of castor oil. It sucks, right? People were like, ugh, like my kids hated it because I used to give them to my kids when they were little. Wintertime comes, you don't want them to get sick. They hate taking castor oil, but what does it do?
Yes, sir.
It helps them not to get sick.
It boosts that immune system.
Exactly.
Yeah. My mom gave us cod liver oil.
Yeah.
And it tastes about the same.
Yes.
As castor
it's
oil.
horrible.
But thinking back on it, all those, my mom used to make like a garlic, lemon, cayenne pepper tea.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And like when we would get sick, she would make this tea and we would sip it. And it did not taste good at all. But whatever it was that was in you, it knocked it out.
Right.
Really, I'm talking about really, really quick. So the scourging that you get or that nasty medicine that you're taking, the rebuke that a brother may give you,
right, is
not to embarrass or to harm. It's not to harm you, actually. It's actually building you up, making you better, making you stronger, making you faster, making you smarter. It's what you need. It's that vitamin shot that you need.
You said the perfect word. You said vitamin shot. That is perfect because it is a vitamin shot. Go to Luke chapter 2 and verse 21. Luke chapter 2 and verse 21. And remember, everything that we're telling you guys straight from the scripture. We like telling you guys, look, this is what this is, bro. Like, is it Luke 2 and 21? Luke 2 and 21. That's not Luke 2 and 21. It's supposed to be Luke, because it's talking about Luke chapter 5 and verse 37. I apologize. Luke 5 and 37.
This is the Gospel of Luke, chapter 5, verse 37. And no man putteth new wine into old bottles.
So you don't put new wine into old bottles. The bottle is your body. The wine is the situation or the what is that? What's the word I'm looking for? The wine is the stuff that we use to change with. It's kind of escaping my mind right now.
I was going to say it's the doctrine that we're going to use to change ourselves.
That's it.
You know, when you drink wine, the intoxication that comes over you, it makes you, if you're having a bad day, it can make you cheer up. You know, right. if you're when you're solemn, it can make you be ready to be more social. It changes you, right?
That's right.
So that's what he's going into. He says, and no man putteth new wine into old bottles.
Read.
Else the new wine will burst the bottles.
The new doctrine, a new understanding will burst the old bottles. Your mind will burst if your cup is full. When someone gives you new information, you won't receive it. That's the bottle busting because you're not getting what they're trying to give to you.
Not the bottle busting. And he's start over. And no man putteth new wine into old bottles, else the new wine will burst the bottles. And he spilled, and the bottles shall perish. But new wine be put into new bottles, and both are preserved.
You see that? So you got to come with a new attitude. You know how Patty Bell say, I got a new attitude? You got to come with a new attitude, a new outlook on life. You got to come with a new way of looking at things, and then you'll receive the new understanding like you're supposed to. But you got to receive it with humbleness or in meekness, right? Go ahead.
Verse 39. No man also having drunk old wine straightway desireth new wine, for he saith, the old is better.
This says no man that drunk old wine don't really, you have to learn how to take this new wine because it's a new understanding. Everybody loves their own kind. Everybody loves what they're used to. This is what he's saying. You're going to love the old wine better because why? You're used to it, right? You're going to love our old ways. We have to learn how to get out of it. That's why Paul says, I die daily. I die to myself daily. Why? Because I'm shedding my old habits. I'm shedding things that I used to do that I love because the body is going to go with what? What feels good, tastes good, smell good, right? If it feels pleasant to me, I'm going to do it, right? So we have to shed that old person and we have to remember that the new wine or the new understanding is better for us than those old ways. Because remember, those old ways, that old wine leads to death. The new wine leads to life. That's why you put yourself through the rigmarole of change. You put yourself through the fire of trying to change because you know this new change is going to do what? It's going to be better for me. You know? So empty that cup out. Pour all that old stuff out. Drink in the new stuff, right? Did you have something?
I did. It's funny that my brother was talking about what the body's going to be attracted to, what tastes good, feel good, smell good, whatever is good to us, right?
That's right.
When you go back into Adam and Eve, when Eve ate the fruit, if you pay attention, it describes the fruit tricking her senses, because it says it was one to make one look beautiful. It's playing with her eyes,
right?
It's one to make one wise, one to make one desired. So it's playing on her senses.
Her senses, yep.
Making her feel like, oh yeah, this is why it was like, oh yeah, now I know,
right?
Now I'm this,
right?
And put her pride up, where now it was like, well, now you're not being humbled as a child to take in the word that the Most High gave, which was what? Don't go deal with that fruit on that tree.
That's right.
So she wasn't being humbled as a child to get it, because her senses had taken over, and that's what happens when we let our physical, carnal, worldly selves take over.
That's right, brother. That's right and exact.
Oh, praise!
That is right and exact. I want you to go to. I want you to turn to Matthew chapter 20 and verse 20. Go to Matthew 20 and 20. We're gonna show you something today. We're gonna learn something today. And this is talking about Christ when the woman, she wanted her sons to be placed up, right? She wanted her sons to be put in a special position, and it was a request of James and John's mother that she made to Christ. Go ahead.
The book of Matthew, chapter 20, verse 20.
Read.
Then came to him the mother of Zebedee's children with her sons, worshiping him and desiring a certain thing of him.
So she wanted something for him. The mother wanted something from him. Read.
And he said unto her, What wilt thou? She saith unto him, Grant that these my two sons may sit, the one on thy right, on thy right hand, and the other on thy left, in thy kingdom.
She said, I want one of my sons to sit on your right hand. I want my other son to sit on your left in thy kingdom. She said, grant me this, right? But what did Christ say about that? Read.
Verse 22. But Jesus answered her and said, Ye know not what ye ask. Are ye able to drink of the cup that I shall drink of, and to be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with? They say unto him, We are able.
Stop right there. So Christ said, you don't even know what you're asking me.
Right.
I have to come here and die for these for these cats that don't even understand it yet.
Right.
He said, you have no idea the things that you ask. And he said, are you able to drink of this cup? And then she said, yeah, we are able. Really, they were not really ready to do what Christ was willing to do. Right. And that's what he was telling her. You're not ready to do what I'm willing to do. Right. But watch this. Read on.
Verse 23. And he saith unto them, Ye shall drink indeed of my cup.
Stop right there. He said, you shall drink indeed of my cup, because the same way that he was persecuted, we're going to be persecuted the same way today. A lot of us that are really into this truth, that's really trying to keep God's law, statutes, and commandments in the faith of Christ, we are going to drink of that cup. That's right. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
And ye shall drink indeed of my cup, and be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with. But to sit on my right hand and on my left is not mine to give.
He said, that's not mine to give. I don't get to choose who sits at my right and on my left. Now watch this. Even today, we don't get to choose who sits on our right and on our left. It's about who the Most High puts in them to do this work. I didn't get to choose that this brother sitting right here next to me today. The Most High put a spirit on him to want to do this work with me. There's no words I could ever say to convince anybody to come and sit with me. There's no words that you could ever say to convince anybody to do something that they don't want to do. The Most High has to put a spirit on. Watch this. Read on.
But to sit on my right hand and on my left is not mine to give, but it shall be given to them for whom it is prepared of my Father.
For whom it is prepared of who?
To whom it is prepared of my Father.
The Father is the only one that could make these things happen, y'all. And that's what a lot of people, they try to put things together that don't fit. They try to make a lot of things happen that don't really supposed to happen. And that's men doing that. The only thing is you have to let the Most High God do these things, right? So even Christ said he's going to let God do it. He said, I'm not going to just put somebody here and put somebody there. The people that are supposed to come to him, it happened just like that. Matthew, Mark, Luke, all of his 12 disciples, even Judas Iscariot came to him. He didn't go out and just beg Judas to do nothing. Everybody who came to Christ, they came to him. He didn't go out and find them and tell them and beg them and convince them of anything. Y'all understand that? We're gonna keep it moving. I want you to read. I want you to go to Luke chapter 22 and verse 39.
22.
Luke 22 and 39.
And 39. This is the book of Luke, chapter 22, verse 39. And he came out and went, as he was wont, to the Mount of Olives, and his disciples also followed him. And when he was at the place, he said unto them, pray that ye enter not into temptation.
So Christ is telling them, y'all need to pray that y'all don't enter into temptation. Now, why is he telling them to pray that they don't enter into temptation? Read on.
And he was withdrawn from them about stones cast, and kneeled down and prayed, saying, Father, if thou be willing, remove this cup from me.
Remove this what?
Remove this cup from me.
Read.
Nevertheless, not my will, but thine be done.
What is he talking about? He said, Father, if thou will, remove this cup from me. He's talking about a situation. He was about to get crucified. He was about to die. He was about to be killed. He was about to go through all this agony. He was about to be scourged with the cat of nine tails. They was about to put a crown of thorn on this man and humiliate him, and he knew what was about to happen. So he asked the Father, he said, if it be your will, remove this cup or this situation from me, right? But let not, he said, but nevertheless, even though I don't want it, let not my will be done, but let thy will be done. So that shows you that what Christ wanted at that time was different than what the Father wanted. Because remember in Isaiah 53, it says it pleased the Lord to bruise him, right? Now y'all ain't hearing that. It pleased God to bruise Christ, right? It didn't say did it say it pleased Christ to be bruised? Mm-hmm. It didn't please him to be bruised. It pleased the Father to bruise him because he knew the prophecy and that he knew something had to happen, right? What else we got on that? I want you to read to 28. Did you read to 28 yet?
Nope.
Read on.
To 28?
I think so. Mm-hmm. Chapter 39. You read from 39
and 22, Luke 22.
22 to 46.
46.
Yes. We're going to read to 46.
Verse 43. And there appeared an angel unto him from heaven, strengthening him.
Doing what?
Strengthening him.
How does the angel strengthen you? He gives you the understanding of the mission that you have to do. Mm-hmm. He gave him scriptures. He prophesied it to Christ and showed him, look, this is what you got to do. That's how we strengthen each other. What? Through these scriptures. Read.
Verse 44. And being in agony, he prayed more earnestly.
He prayed what?
He prayed more earnestly.
So read on.
And his sweat was as it were great drops of blood falling down to the ground. And when he rose up from prayer and was come to his disciples, he found them sleeping for sorrow.
He was praying and praying and praying and being prophesied to by this angel. But when he got up from praying, he went to the disciples and he seen them sleeping. They chilling, right? Now, what did Christ say to them when he seen them chilling?
And he said unto them, why sleep ye? Rise and pray, lest ye enter into temptation.
He said, you know what? When you're going through something harsh, when things about to happen and they all knew something was going to happen, you know how you can feel it in the air and something's going to get ready to go down? Yeah. That's the time to pray. That's the time to fast. That's the time to say, you know what? I'm going to pray lest I be tempted. That's the time to do these things, right? And so just like that situation occurred in our lives, we're going to have situations like that the same exact way. So we have to do what? If we don't want to be tempted, we got to pray. We got to pray.
Yes, sir.
And that's how he's teaching us how to live our lives. He's teaching us what to do, right? Y'all better wake it up. Now watch this. I want you to go to Psalms chapter 75 and verse 7. We're going to get some more. We're going to get some more.
The book of Psalms, verse 7, 75, verse 7. But God is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another.
We know that the Most High Yahweh is the ultimate judge. Read.
For in the hand of the Lord there is a cup.
There's a what?
There is a cup.
Read.
And the wine is red.
And the wine is what?
The wine is red.
So just like my brother was talking about a while ago, when it talks about drinking that wine, what did you say? It takes a different what the wine does to you.
Oh, how it changes changes how you feel. You know,
right.
You down, and now you happy. Sometimes people get they start drinking too much wine. What happened? They get violent, or they start crying.
There
right?
You go.
That's what it's going into right now.
Read on.
For in the hand of the Lord there is a cup, and the wine is red. It is full of mixture, and he poureth out of the same. But the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth shall wring them out and drink them.
All the wicked of the earth are going to drink from the cup of the Lord, and they're going to drink his wrath, his vengeance. They're going to drink everything that these people put us through. They're going to get it back. And it's going to be some of these people going to drink his wrath. Some of these people going to drink his vengeance. Some of these people, it's going to be not good for a lot of these people. But read on.
But I will declare forever, I will sing praises to God, to the God of Jacob.
He said, but I'm going to declare forever, because we know that God, he said verse 6 says he put some verse 7 says that God is the judge, and he says he puts
down
some
one
down and he picks
up another.
But everybody gonna drink from that cup. It's just whichever cup that he chooses for us to drink from. That's why you need to empty your cup, so you can get the correct wine that the Most High has for you. Make sure that you empty that cup. I'm telling y'all think this is a game. He just doing this because it sound right. No, it don't just sound good. It's something that we need to practice. Go to Isaiah chapter 51 and verse 17. We need to practice this, because you don't want to drink from the wrong cup. And when you start having wrath and you start having pride on you, you will drink from a bad cup. You don't want that. Go ahead. You will drink from a horrible cup if you're not careful.
The book of Isaiah chapter 51 verse 17.
Read.
Awake, awake, stand up, O Jerusalem, which has drunk at the hand of the Lord the cup of his fury.
The cup of his what?
The cup of his fury.
Read.
Thou hast drunken the dregs of the cup of trembling, and wrung them out.
And done what?
And wrung them out.
So some people are going to drink out that cup and they're going to get wrung out, right? What happens when you wring something out? You stress that cloth, you stress that item, you put a lot of pressure on it, right? And you weaken those fabrics, right? To get those dregs out, right? Go ahead.
There is none to guide her among all the sons whom she hath brought forth. Neither is there any that taketh her by the hand at all. Taketh her at hand at all the sons that she hath brought up.
So the sons, the situation is going to come out like the Lord say. You're going to drink this cup, and it's not going to be cool. This is called the cup of the Lord's fury. Read on.
Verse 19. These two things are come up unto thee. Who shall be sorry for thee? Desolation and destruction, and the famine, and the sword. By whom shall I comfort thee?
Woo! He said this cup has desolation, the sword, and famine. This cup has nothing but judgment in it. This is one of the cups of the Lord. Read.
Thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets, as a wild bull in a net. They are full of the fury of the Lord, that the rebuke of thy God.
You know what? And that's going to be twofold. It's talking about our sons and our brothers being mad, the young man running like wild bulls in the street, acting crazy, being gangster or rough or whatever you want to call it. And it's also another type of judgment too. It's the other judgment of the receiving end of that, right? And so it's talking about, it's actually like a twofold parable right there. It's like two folds though. And you really don't want to.
It's a scripture that you always bring up, and it's the one where in the Apocrypha where it says, "And women shall bring forth monsters."
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
This is a perfect example of that, because it says, "Thy sons have fainted; they lie at the head of the streets, as wild bull in a net. They are full of the fury of the Lord, the rebuke of thy God." And this is what the problem is, and that is bringing that scripture in the Apocrypha where he says that will bring forth these monsters, right? And this is why today a lot of our elders are afraid of the youth, right?
Yeah,
they see them and they're like, they don't want to deal with that. They could need gas, but if they see them at the gas station, they'll be like, nah, I'll wait till tomorrow. Right. Coming out the store, they should feel like, oh, you know what? Those are my youth.
Right.
Well, instead of feeling like that, they're intimidated and they're worried.
Yeah.
They're concerned about their health. They're concerned about their wealth. They're concerned about their well-being all around.
That's true.
And this is the punishment that we get.
Yeah.
Guess why? Because we're not raising up. The scriptures say we're supposed to raise up our children. We're supposed to be talking to them on the way, talking to them when we go to sleep,
Yep.
and we don't. Why? I had this conversation with a loved one earlier, because we've broken those commandments, and we don't. The people who taught us didn't know those commandments.
Right.
So guess what? Those youngsters didn't get taught by people who didn't get the truth. They're
That's
not
right.
getting the truth, so they're out there just being who and whatever they think they're supposed to be. Yeah,
being men and nigga women.
Yep, that's the perfect man. Ain't no other way to say it.
Nigga man, they're not doing what they're not working in their purpose.
No.
Because they have no clue of who they are. They have no clue. Just like my brother was saying, they have no clue. You know, and these women are raising monsters. That's why these young brothers coming on, and they thinking that they're masculine, that they're men, they're being mean. They're really giving a lot of feminine energy, and they don't even know it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we can tell, man, you acting like a woman. Man, you ain't walk that way, you acting like that. Blah, blah, blah. No, you are. You acting like a girl. Girls, they display emotions like that.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't understand.
No
that.
logic, no reasoning. It's just all emotion.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
all emotion.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Look, and if you pay attention, look at what it says. It says, thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets as a wild bull in the net. They are full of the fury. That's an emotion.
Yes.
Of the Lord. The rebuke of thy God. He's telling you they're going to be a full. Yes. They're angry.
Yes.
But that is an emotion that they need to put in check. They need to come with the logic so they can say, you know what? Why am I angry? What am I angry at?
What am I angry about?
Why I'm angry at this old man? I don't even know him. He never did nothing to me, but I want to bust him over the head, right? So they need to. That's the emotion right there that my brother just speaking on. That simple and plain. Emotion don't always have to mean sad or sassy.
Exactly. Go to Revelation 17:3. That's right and exact.
The book of Revelation, chapter 17, verse 3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
So this is that woman is us, the children of Israel, right? The scarlet-colored beast is Babylon, or the great dragon, or this land that we're living in, right? Read on.
Verse 4, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand.
Having a what?
Having a golden cup in her hand.
Read.
Full of abomination and filthiness of her fornication.
Because that's what this land brings. It brings abominations, it brings filthiness, it brings all type of ill things. That's the land that we live in. And the Bible tells us to depart out of that, to not drink of that cup, right? But that's the cup that's placed in our hand, right? Because that's what was in our hand from the beginning. But read on.
Verse 5. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abomination of the earth.
An abomination of that's where we are now. Read.
And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints.
Drunken with what?
With the blood of the saints.
Read.
And with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration.
It says we're going to look at how the condition of our people, and we're going to wonder, like, damn, are we really like this? Is this really us? But the truth is, yes, this is really what we're going through. And we really have to work hard in order to get our people out of this condition, away from that cup, away from that situation, away from these abominations. A lot of things that we think are not abominations actually are. A lot of things that we don't even look twice at when we were in the world. These are actually things that we need to stay clear of, right? So we're trying to struggle with great change, you guys. And we struggle with great change a lot of times because we don't empty our cups out. We don't come as a child in understanding. We don't come like we're supposed to come. We come thinking we know everything. And that's the wrong way to come. Go to Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 6. So we got to humble ourselves to get this understanding, y'all.
The book of Jeremiah chapter 51 verse 6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon.
Out of the midst of who?
Flee out of the midst of Babylon.
Read on.
And deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity. For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense.
This is right now. we're getting ready to feel the Lord's vengeance. We haven't quite felt it yet, but we're going to feel the Lord's vengeance. And he's going to render everybody the cup that they want. The cup that you want, that's the one you're going to drink out of. The one you prepare at the table for yourself, that's the one you're going to drink out of. If you want to drink a cup of this wrath and you think everything is cool the way it is, you don't want to change your life, you don't want to start giving the most highest praise, you're going to drink from that cup. Now, if you do want to have repentance, if you do want to have mercy, and you seek after that, that's the cup you're going to get. Read on.
Verse 7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad.
That's why the nations are mad, because everybody's going with the philosophy of Babylon, or the philosophy of Esau, or the philosophy of America. We're going with these philosophies, and it says this has made everybody mad. This has made everybody crazy. That's the word here. It's made everybody crazy. Why? Because we just want to do what we want to do, right? Go to Jeremiah chapter 25 and verse 14. Jeremiah 25 and 14.
The book of Jeremiah chapter 25 verse 14. For many nations and great kings shall serve themselves of them also, and I will recompense them according to their deeds and according to the works of their own hands.
Everybody's going to get what they deserve. At the end of the day, whatever cup you want to drink out of, like I said before, that's the cup you're going to get. Whatever cup you feel like you want, if you think that what I'm saying doesn't mean anything, that's fine. You're going to get the cup that you choose. Read.
For thus saith the Lord God of Israel unto me, take the wine cup of this fury at my hand, and cause all the nations to whom I send thee to drink it.
To what?
To drink it.
Every nation is going to drink the cup of the Lord's fury. So we want to stay clear of this cup. I'm telling y'all, read.
And they shall drink and be moved and be mad.
And be what?
And be mad.
Read.
Because of the sword that I will send among them.
So it's gonna be a bad situation for those who refuse to change. This is really talking about you guys changing for the better. This is really talking about you guys coming back to the Lord. Read the next verse.
Then took I the cup at the Lord's hand and made all the nations to drink unto whom the Lord had sent me.
Wow. So guess what? We're sent to show you guys a better way. We're sent to tell you guys, look, change your ways, get up out of your pernicious ways, the ways that you used to, what's comfortable. You need to get with me and become uncomfortable for a while so you can learn something. Get uncomfortable for a minute so you can really learn something. Because that's what I think I told you this before. Before I changed, it's been about 7 years ago. I was sitting in my house in Plano, married. I was married to another young lady then, and I was sitting in my study, and something said, I guess it came from inside my head, that you're too comfortable. You're too comfortable. And that was the beginning of me changing my ways. That was the beginning of me starting to keep God's Sabbath. That was the beginning of me starting to put on these fringes. That was the beginning of me starting to keep God's high holy days. So I started changing my ways. I started doing something different. And I never looked back after that.
And LA, and shout out to my brother Yaquab in Los Angeles. If you ever catch this, he said something that was prominent. He said exactly what you said. And I always ask people, like, man, what brought you to the truth, or what made you know that this was the truth? And his answer was the discomfort. I never heard nobody say that. And I had studied with the Nation of Islam. I dealt with Orthodox Muslims, of course, different Christianities, and all these different spiritualities, just to see where it really was going, right?
Right.
And the one thing they all do is, guess what? They try to make you as comfortable as possible.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's not the way.
They will make you comfortable as possible. Oh, everybody's going to be saved. Oh, God loves everyone. Oh, you know what? It's all, and especially if you start asking too many questions, they start trying to do stuff like, well, it's all the same thing. It's just like we're just taking different roads to the same destination. No. Is the truth gonna make you uncomfortable?
That's right.
And we all know that when somebody tell you the truth about something, hey bro, your breath stink. Like, ooh, it's the truth. Hey, I'm glad you told me so I could do something about it, but you feel uncomfortable, right? Oh, you got something in your teeth right here, or you got something in your eye right there. For that split second, it's a slight discomfort. Like my brother said earlier, it's embarrassing, right? Yes. But it's for your look at how the truth works. While that discomfort or that embarrassment comes, it's for your betterment. It's for
That's
you
right.
better.
It's for you to do
For you
better.
to do better.
Yeah. And and you guys don't get discouraged. For you guys who've been through some stuff, been through situations, maybe with a congregation, maybe with people that you know, don't get discouraged. This walk is designed to be bumpy.
Yes.
It's just designed for that. Don't go back into anything you used to do. Don't look, push forward. Be strong. Get with some people who your spirit connect with, right? If you can't do it right off, bro, try to talk to your brothers. You know, we cannot walk this walk on our own. It's not designed that way. A lot of people try to do it on their own, but if I'm going through something and if it's really tough, I've had severe situations happen. I call my brother, I talk to my brother, and he come and help me. And when we open up the scriptures and we go through the scriptures together. Bro, sometimes we need our brothers, bro. We need our brothers.
And that's just really, that's all it is. That's simple.
Yeah. We need each other. And guess what? Every other nation does that.
Yes, sir.
That's something very common in every other nation. But for some reason, Black people think that they can do everything by themselves. They can go through hardships by themselves.
Yeah.
It's not designed that way. Rick and Paul ain't doing that over there. Ahmed and Amjad are not doing that. Right? Right? Chan and Bruce are not doing that. So we have to learn how to become each other's brother and how to serve each other. We have to learn how to serve one another. Okay. Right? Is that all you got on that?
That's all.
I want you to go. We're almost done. Go to the book of Joel chapter 3 and verse 10. And we're about done, you guys. We're about finished.
Chapter 2, verse 3.
Joel chapter 3 and verse 10.
The book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 10.
Read.
Beat your plowshares into swords.
This is a future prophecy. Read on.
And your pruning hooks into spears.
Read.
Let the weak say, I am strong.
Let the weak say what?
I am strong.
The weak, the people who you call weak, they're gonna become strong, the ones that keep his commandments. Read.
Verse 11. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen.
All the heathen coming. Read.
And gather yourselves together round about thither, cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord.
The heathen gonna have a judgment from the Lord. Now watch what he says in verse 12.
Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about.
He said, let the heathen come up, let them be awakened, meaning they realize what's going on. They're woken to the situation. This is a future prophecy. And let them come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is the valley of decisions, to decide what's going to happen. Remember, we are the apple of the Most High's eye. Nobody can put their hands on us without something happening. And that's the part that people forget. That's why they say, well, everybody's equal. How can God say that these people are the apple of his eye, and then in another breath say everyone's the same? Everybody, no, he said these are the people, and all this judgment will take place because of what has happened to the children of Israel. Read on, watch this.
Verse 13. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come and get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great.
All the stuff they did to us is great. Their wickedness is great against the children of Israel. But watch this. Read on.
Multitudes in the valley of decision. For the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision.
So the day of the Lord is near to judge the world for what has happened to the Israelites. Read.
The sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. The Lord also shall roar out of Zion.
Roar out of where?
Roar out of Zion.
Zion is us. Read.
And utter his voice from Jerusalem. And the heavens and the earth shall shake, but the Lord will be the hope of his people.
Read.
And the strength of the children of Israel.
We already know that the Lord is going to be our strength. The only way we can make him our strength is that we come back to him and start doing what he says, start being in alliance and obedience with the Lord. Read.
So shall ye know that I am the Lord your God, dwelling in Zion, my holy mountain. Then shall Jerusalem be holy, and there shall no strangers pass through her anymore.
So he's going to put all of us back together. He said we're going to be holy, meaning we're going to be separate. Everybody going to know that we different. And this is him separating the children of Israel from all of the other people and showing these are my people. These are who I love. So for us to get that understanding, for us to come back in the proper form, in the proper way, we have to empty our cups and start doing that which is needful, that which is righteous in the eyes of the Lord. We got to start doing that. That's why I came up with this class. That's why we did it. This is it. Go to Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 4, and that's it. Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 4.
The book of Isaiah chapter 2, verse 4.
Read.
And he shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people.
And shall what?
And shall rebuke many people.
Read.
And they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore.
This is a future prophecy saying that when we take over, this is what's going to be. This is how the world is going to be. Read on.
O house of Jacob, come ye and let us walk in the light of the Lord.
Everybody's going to be walking in the light of the Lord. Everybody is. But the leading people are going to be Zion. The leading people are going to be the children of Israel that is going to lead everybody to the light. That's the part we got to get. So a lot of our petty squabblings that we have amongst each other, a lot of the little stupid things that we have, the little petty reasons why we don't like other Israelites, that has to go. All the little petty stuff that we, us being in our emotions, us being upset with about things that really don't matter, right? Because if something severe happens right now, a lot of the things that you're mad at your brother or sister for would not even matter, right? So we have to become a higher people. We have to set our standards higher. We have to not let things that bothered us yesterday bother us today, because we are a royal people. We are a royal priesthood. If I'm royal, or I could say it like this: if I'm a giant, I don't sweat the small stuff, right?
Right.
If I'm a giant, and this is the type of mentality and mind that we have to move ourselves to, because I'm seeing a lot of petty things in Israel. I'm seeing a lot of pettiness that's going on, and we're really bigger than that. That's why I continue to do classes like this, because we're bigger than our circumstances.
Yes, sir.
And we haven't realized that we're bigger than our circumstances.
Yes,
so as long as we stay there, I'm gonna meet you where you at. We're gonna keep meeting you where you at till I see some growth come out of Israel, till I see growth come out of our people. We're gonna continue to meet you guys where you are.
Can I get something?
Go ahead.
Can you get what you pulled just now in Isaiah 2?
Isaiah 2?
Yeah, read what you just read again.
What verse you want? Verse 5 or verse 6?
No, go to start at verse 3.
Oh, okay. This is Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 3. It says, and many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord.
So we already understand that mountains represent kingdoms and nations of people, right? So the brother already said that when we come into rulership, the world is going to beat their swords in the pruning hook and their spears in the plowing shares, right?
That's right.
So he's saying, let us go to the mountain of the Lord. They're saying, let's go to the people of Israel. Let's go to the children of Israel.
That's right.
Read.
To the house of the God of Jacob.
So that's us again, because we built the temple.
That's right.
We are the people. You guys, us the people, we're the actual temple.
That's right.
Go ahead.
And he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths.
Go ahead.
For out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem.
So we are Zion, and we are Jerusalem. So out of us will come forth the law, right? And the word of the Most High, right?
That's right.
Now, this just goes into what my brother was saying in Exodus 19:5. He says, now, therefore, if you will keep, he's talking to us, Israel. He's talking to us. He says, now, therefore, if you will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all the people. So something that is already putting us above these people.
That's right.
Now he says, for all the earth is mine. If we keep the covenant, then we'll be above the people. Now watch this. He's going to give us our title above the people in the very next verse. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests. That means the whole nation is royal. The whole nation is royal.
That's right.
So when you have a kingdom, that's talking about the royal part of this nation of people. Okay. If we were looking at America like it was a kingdom, The president would be the king in his house and all of that, and the people in Senate and all that.
That's right.
That would be the royalty.
That's
So
right.
in this case, we need to understand that our whole nation, all 12 tribes, the brothers and the sisters, we royalty.
That's right.
But not only are we royalty, he says, of priests. Not only are we just the kings, but we not just to rule, no, but we also have to give out the information of
That's
the truth,
right.
the law, the commandments, the statutes. We have to show these people how to live. And that's why they're going, let me finish that out and then we can get it. He says, these are the words. He says, you shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words. Look who we talking to. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel.
Woo.
So this is to us, y'all.
Everybody.
And so when we get it together, if we humble ourselves down and take this understanding as children and learn these commandments and just take the instruction, take the chastisement like children.
That's
and
right.
grow from it, we can grow into a nation of kingdoms and priests.
That's
a
right.
a nation of kings and priests, right? And what should we be doing? We're gonna be above all the nations.
All the nations.
And we're gonna show them like all them nuclear bombs and all that. We're gonna be like, y'all need to get rid of that stuff, man.
That's right.
And they're gonna do it because they're gonna say, man,
do
we're gonna go to the house of the Lord to learn his way as we recognize it. That's what's gonna happen. But in order for that to happen, we, Israel,
we got to become royal.
We got to get our royalty up.
Yep.
And that's all I had.
Brother, I got a question for you.
All right. Go ahead.
What other people in the world? Let's name any people, what other people is the whole nation supposed to be royal?
Oh man, I've never seen.
You've never seen that.
Never.
That doesn't exist. That's what lets you know who we are.
Yes.
We are supposed to be a nation of kings and priests.
A whole nation.
A whole nation of
whole
people.
Nation.
That's why we go out and teach and talk to people and try to prophesy to people and let them know, because the Most High has put a command upon us that has been given to a people that has never been given to anybody else in the world. That has never been given. That charge has never been put to anybody in the world.
It's funny that you said that, because this is what let me get one more scripture. Go to Revelation chapter 5 and 10.
I got you.
I love kung fu movies. Growing up, I was, me and my dad watched Bruce Lee and all kind of different kung fu movies. And if you ever watch them, they'll talk about different dynasties, or they'll talk about different kings. Or they'll talk about this. None of them were like a whole nation of that. It was that family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you deal with anything, if you know anything about the Greco-Roman Empire, the Greeks, they even in their royal family, they had issues and had to beef with each other because they wanted, no, I need to be the one.
Yeah.
In the Roman Empire, it was the same thing.
That's right.
Guess what? In Egypt, it was the same thing. They were
That's
killing different pharaohs because people wanted power. Guess what? It ain't that way with us, because we are the whole nation.
All kings.
The whole nation. Yeah, the whole nation is kings and priests.
That's right.
Give me that in Revelation 5 and 10.
This is Revelation chapter 5 and verse 10.
This is what we gonna do as a nation of kings and priests. Read.
And has made us unto our God kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth.
We supposed to be reigning on the earth.
Man.
Hey, while we reigning, y'all got, you know what? Y'all got to get rid of those atomic bomb, your nuclear bomb, your hydrogen bomb. Y'all getting ready. Y'all finna learn how to farm.
Wow.
Y'all finna learn how to go fishing. Y'all finna learn how to grow these fruits and these vegetables.
Wow.
Now y'all finna learn how. You got a problem with who? For what reason? Well, this is how the law say you're supposed to deal with that, Esau. This is how the law say you're supposed to deal with that, Ham. This is how the law say you're supposed to deal with that, Ishmael. We're gonna be ruling them.
Yep.
Ruling them. But we got to humble down as a child to take our chastising. We got to humble down and take these words into us and become kings and priests, a nation of kings and priests, a royal and holy nation.
Wow.
That's all I wanted to.
Well, that's right and exact. And just like it says in the book of Hebrews, it says that you should know the Lord from the greatest of you to the least.
Man,
that's just
that's
goes
what that
right
is.
In line with what my brother was
perfect.
saying.
Yeah,
from the least of us. So it's still gonna be least of us, but everybody's gonna know the Lord. Everybody's gonna keep these commandments. And the least of us, and this is the part that they're trying to keep from you. I'm telling y'all, Israelites, the least of us is going to be greater than the greatest of the other nations. The least of our nation is going to be greater than the people, than anybody in any other nation. That's the reason that if that's not a reason to keep a secret from somebody, if that's not a reason to lie to somebody and call them niggas and spicks and pepper bellies and porch monkeys and if that's not a spear chuckers, if that's not a reason to put a people down and to lie to them, I don't
tell them that they less than.
Man, I don't know what is a reason.
Know what? Imagine Superman walking around and we telling him that
he ain't nothing.
No, you can't lift that.
Yeah, you ain't nothing.
You ain't this. You ain't that.
Yeah,
like no, this dude is beyond what we even can understand. Way beyond.
He got all kind of powers.
That's who we are.
Exactly.
We are Superman. If you even look at his real name, and he talking about us, he got a Hebrew name, Kal-El. He got a Hebrew name.
A Hebrew name.
And they did some scientists did some work on him, and they said, oh, he was really supposed to be a black dude. He get his power from the sun and everything. They broke it down.
Yeah.
So y'all wake up, Supermans.
Wake up.
Superwomans.
That's right. Wonder Womans and Supermans. Well, that's all we got, man. We hope you guys learned something. We hope you guys got some good precepts. We hope you guys can understand what we're trying to give to the nation of Israel. And with that, we say shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. All praises, man. All praise. Got my brother here with me today.
Man, I was like, oh my God. And then you want to know what's